Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm going to be doing my Ben talk on the gender differences in perception and intention to study abroad. So, I did this research at King's College London when I was studying abroad in London, and this was a particularly important research topic to me because study abroad was and has been one of the most important and formative experiences that I've had in college. So, I just wanted to see the different gender differences behind the decision to study abroad. So I first stumbled across this topic because when I had decided to study abroad, the Penn Abroad Network um, had hosted a meet and greet for all the potential study abroad students, and that's where I noticed that my peers who were also studying abroad were overwhelmingly female. And then this became even more evident when I went to King's College and we had a welcome event for all the study abroad students. And I found there that it was also overwhelmingly female. And then in my intercultural awareness class, where I conducted this research and wrote this paper, there was only two guys in the entire class of like 30 people. So, in order to figure out why more girls than boys or more females than males study abroad, I decided to dig a little deeper and do more research into it. So, um, just to go over some of the existing literature out there, there have been studies that show that study abroad has been overwhelmingly a positive experience on people's careers, personal development, and intercultural awareness. Um, Specifically, 90% of survey respondents had said that studying abroad had a lasting impact on their worldviews, and 73% stated that the experience continues to influence the decisions that they make in their family life. So, with these personal anecdotes from survey respondents, it's clear that people who have studied abroad do recommend it and feel that it has had a tremendous impact on their lives. In addition, some of the research that academics have been doing have further um, confirmed this to be and through more rigorous research. So um, they found that surveys have found that on average around two-thirds of people who study abroad are female and one-third are male, and this has been replicated across different universities around the country as well as on an aggregate basis. So this number of two-third and one-third ratio is pretty standard, and that's also what I noticed when I was abroad. It was around two-thirds or like even three-fourths female. So some of the benefits of studying abroad that both genders should be able to reap. Um, a study abroad helps people be more interculturally aware and have more familiarity with the greater world, not just the neighborhoods where they grew up or where their universities are. It lets them explore what's out there, and it's also one of the first times that students are truly alone in an unfamiliar environment, and it helps them adapt and it helps them discover who they are outside of the context of family or their university. So, some of the research on why it is that more males than females study abroad, and it has been proven that there has been an association between more females studying abroad than males. So I'm going to dive into some of the existing literature that has explored why this is. So one of the main research that's out there that describes why more women study abroad than men has stated that men have different ideas of their professional, personal, and social lives than females, and most of the time it's not conducive to studying abroad. So, for example, one study showed that men generally don't feel the need to study abroad because they find that they have a group of friends already in their home university and they don't feel the need to uproot themselves from their comfortable lives at their home university with their friends and go explore something that's very foreign. Whereas this is something that females seek. Another example of why men study abroad more than females is that men have this notion that their academics is supposed to be more professional or career oriented, which means that the purpose of them going to college is to focus on getting a good education, to try to find a good job for after college. They don't see college as necessarily a place to socialize, whereas for females, they see college as more of a fluid experience where they can find themselves or try new things. And this might also be some of the cultural expectations that after graduation, men are expected to be breadwinners, so they're expected to have the careers that the high paying careers that allow them to support themselves, whereas women can essentially don't have this expectation. This is further evident in the fact that in an interview, several people, older people from an older generation, noted that when they were in college decades ago, the only colleges that had study abroad were the all female colleges, and they sort of saw these study abroad programs as a chance for women to go abroad, have some fun, go shopping. So this sort of rationale has continued, even though most or almost all co-ed universities offer study abroad programs. My research, I interviewed six people, six current Penn students, three of them who did study abroad and three of them who didn't, as well as three male and three female. While this might not be a large enough data set or sample size to be considered anything super rigorous, it did leave me with many insights. So, one of the first things that I noticed was that the males that I interviewed were overwhelmingly more focused on their academics and their careers. One interviewee even mentioned that he viewed college, especially coming to Penn and being at such a great university, he viewed that his one of his sole responsibilities was to learn as much as he could from the world-class professors here. He had mentioned that he viewed study abroad as a chance to travel and meet people from other cultures, but that was something that he could do after he graduated on vacation, for example. On the other hand, the women that I interviewed, they saw study abroad as a chance to enhance their social experiences and their and more of like a personal enhancement experience. They saw study abroad as a way of like exploring different cultures and seeing and meeting new people and seeing how they would fit in this new context. So I did my research did confirm the hypothesis of the different expectations that men and women have on their educations. However, my hypothesis was proven wrong in the fact that men and women did have similar views on study abroad. They both saw studying abroad as less rigorous and less academically oriented than staying at their home universities. Nevertheless, they also did notice the differences, both the men and women who I interviewed who did study abroad. And I think this research goes to show that we as a society should reevaluate the expectations and the cultural norms that we put on men and female and their education. Because men should be able to have this opportunity to study abroad because it's a formative experience. And in this global and interconnected world, it's becoming more and more of a desired experience to meet people from across the world. So in conclusion, thank you for listening to my Penn Talk.